Welcome to Technia TV. Hello, I am Dr. Sandeep Kumar, Faculty of Management. Today, I am delivering lecture on tabulation. Tabulation may be defined as the methodical presentation of numerical data in rows or and columns according to certain characteristics. It expresses the data in concise form which can be easily understood and used to compare numerical figures. The advantages of tabular presentation over the textual presentation are: it is concise. Second one, there is no duplication of explanatory matter. Third one, comparisons can be made without difficulty. Fourth one, the important features can be highlighted. And the last one, errors in the data can be detected. Tabulation is essential for the following reason. First one, systematic and logical presentation of large number of data in rows and columns. Second one, it conserves space and reduce explanatory and descriptive statement to a minimum. Second one, identifying patterns inherent in the data. Third one, it eases the process of comparisons. An ideal statistical table should include the following items. First one, table number. A number must be chosen for the table for identification, in particular when there are many tables in the study. Second one, title. The title should clarify what is contained in the table. It should be clear, brief, and set in bold type on top of the table. It should also indicate the time and place to which the data refer. Next one is the date. The date of preparation of the table should be given. The next one, that is the stubs or row designations. Each row of the table should be given a concise heading. Such labels of rows are called stubs or stub items, and the all column is called stub column. Next one is column headings or captions. Column designation is given on top of each column to give details about the figures in the column refer. It should be clear and accurate. This is called a caption or heading. Columns should be numbered if there are 4 or more columns. Next one is body of table. The data should be organized in such a way that any figure can be located easily. Various types of numerical variables should be arranged in an ascending order, that is, from left to right in rows and from top to bottoms in columns. Columns and row total should be given. Next one is unit of measurement. If the unit of measurement is identical throughout the table, it is stated at the top right-handed corner of the table along with the title. If different rows and columns contain figures in different units, the units may be acknowledged along with stubs or captions. Very large figures may be rounded up, but the technique of rounding should be explained. Next one is source. At the bottom of the table, a note should be added signifying the primary and secondary sources from which data have been collected. Another one is footnotes and references. If any item has not been explained appropriately, a separate descriptive note should be included at the bottom of the table. Now, next one is hand tabulation. Hand tabulation is typically chosen in case of a small study where the number of questionnaire is small and they are relatively of short length. Hand tabulation may be done through direct tally, the list and tally, or the card sort and count techniques. When there are simple codes, it is feasible to tally directly from the questionnaire. Under this technique, the codes are written on a sheet of paper called tally sheet, and for each response, a stroke is marked against the code in which it falls. In general, after every 4 strokes against a particular code, the 5th response is indicated by drawing a diagonal line through the strokes. These groups of 5 are simple to count and the data are sorted against each code easily. Now I am explaining the principles of tabulation. In constructing statistical tables, principles of tabulations can be stated as follows. First one, every table should have a clear, concise and adequate title. Second one, every table should be given a distinct number to assist easy references. Third one, the column headings and the row headings of the table should be clear and concise. Fourth one, the units of measurement under each heading or subheading must also be indicated. Fifth one, explanatory footnotes, if any concerning the table, should be placed directly below the table along with the reference symbols used in the table. Sixth one is the sources or sources of the data in the table must be indicated just below the table. Seventh one, usually the columns are separated from one another by lines which make the table more readable and attractive. There should be thick lines to separate the data under one class from the data under another class, and the lines separating the subdivisions of the classes should be comparatively thin lines. Ninth one, the columns may be numbered to facilitate reference. Tenth one, these columns whose data are to be compared should be kept side by side. This is the end of my lecture on tabulations. Hope you will find it useful. Watch more lecture on research methodology or business research on Technia TV. Thanks a lot.